Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a Divine Masculine energy reading. I did a reading yesterday for a client, and I did come into a bunch of downloads when it comes to this gateway. We are in this powerful gateway energy of this full moon in Libra. So a lot is being illuminated when it comes to what is needing to be eliminated out of our lives to restore a sense of balance within these connections. And a lot of these divine masculines have not honored high moral traditional values. They've been self-serving, very selfish. They've not brought forward any caring. And I kind of feel this reestablishing energy coming through when it comes to rules and laws of karma. And whatever's taking place in the masculine's world right now is definitely serving to teach him a valuable lesson when it comes to the present moment and stepping into these future timelines. So I feel this humbleness energy is coming through for the divine masculine. It's the energy of being humbled through all kinds of restrictions when it comes to not honoring this destined connection. And I feel as the feminine keeps building upon all of her fundamental strengths and is reaching a very effective place of success in her life, this is kind of pushing the masculine to refine his nature. So a lot is coming into all of our awareness when it comes to this growth, this expansion, and this refinement of high moral values that will benefit these destined connections. And I feel a lot of the masculines are deeply dissatisfied with their life right now, with themselves, with everything that's transpired. I feel there's a lot of embarrassment surrounding the divine masculine, and there's a lot of obsession towards the feminine that is needing to be redefined. And the energy is very demanding with all of this Jupiter expansion. So I feel this bonding energy coming forward for the masculine. And it is this energy of measure for measure. And I feel a lot of the masculines, you know, they enact all of these sexual intimate connections on the journey. And the energy is demanding that this sacred union be nurtured once and for all. So it's like the masculine is being asked to step into his adulthood and to embrace the mystical energies around him and to, you know, step forward as that guardian, as that true tribal leader. And, you know, a lot of the energy is establishing what is right and what is wrong. And a lot of these masculines have done us very, very wrong. And they're going to have to kind of pay back this karma for their poor moral conditioning. And especially when it comes to the children that have been negatively affected by the divine masculine's poor actions. So a lot of the masculines are, you know, on defense when it comes to all of their lies, all of the manipulation between the feminine and the karmic. And a lot of these masculines triangulate these situations, and it's all fear-driven, mandated energy. And if the masculine is going to be able to maintain his own viability, he's going to have to come forward with that truthful conversation. He's going to have to act from a place of high moral values and integrity. And he's going to have to restructure his entire life. So we are here to be these trailblazers, to be these way showers that uphold the well-being of the spiritual community. And I feel a lot of the masculines are becoming very cognizant when it comes to this lack of value, this lack of morals, and they've tried to safeguard all of these lies, all of these manipulative behaviors, and they've not been following their instinctual awareness. And the energy, I feel, is very scrutinizing when it comes to their corrupt behavior, their unjust and unnecessary self-serving actions. And a lot of the masculines are being challenged to embrace this change, to bring forward their caring and nurturing aspects in every aspect of their life, and especially within the tribe. So I feel the masculine was trying so hard to physically take care of the karmic energy, who was this damsel in distress. And the time is now for correct action to be taken. And all of this fear of them taking responsibility for the damage done, I feel, is creating this self-fulfilling prophecy for the masculine, and everything is kind of crumbling around him. I feel the feminine has been exalted from the contract. We've kind of ebbed and flowed through all of the adaptability of this journey, and a lot of the feminines are kind of just making it alone at this point in time, and a lot of the feminines have naturally aligned with their purpose, and all of these nurturing and protective forces are around the feminine at this time. And a lot of the feminines have maintained these high principles, these high values, and we've been that support for others where necessary. And it's really highlighting the lack of enriching values and all of this corruption in the divine masculine's world. So I do feel there's a lot of resentment towards the divine feminine for all of her natural mental gifts. And the masculine has ignored his gifts. And now he's being forced to hit that rock bottom. And he's going to have to dig himself out of this hole if he's to survive this towering energy coming in. There's a lot of discomforting awareness coming forward. And, you know, the masculine has not stood by high moral principles and values. And they've been dealing with this maleficent life force energy, this very karmic energy, and the worst is happening is kind of what I'm feeling. And all of this disregard for the pain caused by all of this corruption is breaking down the divine masculine's defense system, and there's nowhere left for him to hide. He's backed into a corner. And with all of this very difficult Saturn energy coming forward, a lot of these masculines are feeling very inferior, and they're lacking material success in their life. They've created all kinds of limitations due to their selfishness and their unsavoriness and their criminal activity towards the divine feminine. And we do need to remember this is all linked to past life criminal distortion, abuse of power in past lives. And the feminine has maintained her strength despite all of this negative energy thrown at her. And I feel the feminine's been very consistent with her continuity of bringing these insights into the collective, which is bringing forward all kinds of success. And the masculine is learning a harsh lesson when it comes to tampering with the divine feminine. A lot of us divine feminines are very disciplined in our daily practice, and we've embraced all of these necessary changes. We've not avoided any part of the journey. And I feel, you know, when it comes to us being abandoned by the divine masculine, they're facing all kinds of negative reactions in the energy. And I do feel the energy is stimulating this drive for the masculine to rebel against these negative forces that he's been kind of tampering with behind the scenes. And I feel this openness when it comes to the masculine having to share his spirit with others. And it's what I kept hearing was grace. So I feel like the masculine is on his knees asking for spiritual grace when it comes to his negative behaviors, and, you know, doing what only suited him and his needs and his desires. And a lot of negative conditions are bringing this into the masculine's receptive awareness. And it's this mutation, and it's like the masculine's in this second class ticket to the Kundalini Airlines, where we kind of got to get rid of all of this past baggage is what's coming through. So I feel a lot of the feminines are just in this place of acceptance. We're in a really good position. I feel a lot of us have reached that balanced state of emotional awareness. And I feel now the masculine has to be in that subordinate position to the feminine. And this is inevitable. This humiliation is inevitable. The feminine first had to go down. And now the feminine's kind of sitting in this first class seat on Kundalini Airlines. And the masculine's in the second class position now. And all of these emotional energy challenges are coming up, resulting in a lot of humiliation socially. So I feel a breakdown of that false social structure. A lot of these masculines were very charming. They masked their true nature, and everything is kind of coming to the surface. A lot of these masculines abuse substances at the expense of others, and I do feel it's creating all kinds of delusions of, you know, this superiority energy surrounding the masculine, and how he feels so much better than everybody else, and he's kind of at that rock bottom as the feminine kind of attracts all of this success in her life. So I feel this gateway channel of openness is kind of being restored. And I kept being shown 22. So that is a master number, but in the low vibration, it can become very, very stagnant. So it's this energy combining all of these cosmic energies with this potential for deep emotional openness through listening, through social graces, and this charm that the masculine used that was so highly attractive to everybody in the past is definitely not working. And I feel a lot of the masculines are experiencing extreme mood changes, dramatic mood changes, because they're really becoming antisocial when it comes to this energy emergence, with all of this emotional awareness that the masculine is kind of needing to mature once and for all into his adulthood. And, you know, this melodramatic company that he's been keeping is bringing him into the depths of the darkness. And it is in the depths of the darkness that he will see the feminine as this creative muse for him. And timing is everything. And this very codependent, toxic, dishonoring connection that the masculine has been courted to really is going to be his downfall. So I feel he's tapping into his gifts. He's asking the universe for grace. And I feel until he completely closes out the cycle and comes forward with that truth, accountability, and integrity, all of these negative energies are going to keep taking the masculine further down into the black hole, because it is his responsibility to make things right at this point in time. And this change is ultimately inevitable. The masculine knows what it is that he truly feels. He knows that he has to express it verbally. And this silence has gone on long enough, which is now turned into like this nervous disorder in the masculine's life. What they fear most is that the feminine won't even have the time to listen to him, that maybe it's not even worthwhile to come forward. And it's this remodification of all of these negative behavior interactions. And the feminine really is stepping into her mediumship. She's rejecting anything that's not serving her. And the possibilities are going to be endless for the feminine coming up. And as the masculine becomes very over-reliant on these mechanical processes, he's going to have to abort that karmic relationship, because all of these limitations and this need for formality when it comes to the masculine maturing is kind of aligning all of these negative experiences and all of these substance abuses, and it is this realignment. The masculine is not wanted to conform to divine will, to these higher soul contracts, and all of these negative expressions are you know, coming full circle. And it's quite evident that the feminine is a natural leader, is a natural spiritual authority figure, and I feel all of these interactions that the feminine has gone through on the journey is resulting in massive leadership capacity when it comes to our mission. And I was also taken to the Garden of Eden, the original twin flames, and I was shown the masculine is feeling very oppressed, and this is self-oppression. He's played into this oppression for a very long time, and all of these restricted adverse states are resulting in this deep internal weakness. At the core, these divine masculines are weak little boys on the inside, and they really exert this external, exterior, egoic strength. But on the inside, they're just broken little weak boys, little children. And I do think they are being pushed to restore a sense of harmony, to reach a place of resolution. There's a lot coming into their conscious awareness that is being integrated when it comes to taking the right action. And this unfounded oppression is bringing forward all kinds of realizations that the masculine is really not okay at all. And I think everybody around the masculine can see this irreversible and destructive damage that the karmic contract has done. And this is extremely difficult, I think, for the masculine to realize his self-worth without the divine feminine and without the karmic. So it's a lot of remembrance when it comes to the disorganized collection of these past life timelines and what's been passing through the masculine when it comes to this lifetime. And I feel this attempt to bring meaning back into his human experience. But I don't think the masculine is going to be shown the entire full picture until he comes forward and sorts through the baggage with the divine feminine. And it's like these movie clips coming forward for the masculine when it comes to the past life energy and this recognition of what direction he needs to take if he is to have a different approach for his life. So I feel this is a very painful process, which is starting to become a little bit easier for the masculine. It's like this reassembling of all of these mental sequences in order for all of these energies to make sense for the masculine. And if he could just kind of take a step back and trust, he will be able to cycle through all of this pain and reach that aha moment when it comes to all of these secrets that he's avoided. And the pressure's on. And I'm hearing that song from Encanto, Luisa's song, and the pressure's on, and he's about ready to pop. And this really is an array of possibilities coming forward as the masculine moves through this very active mind space, preparing to stand up and to stand out and to ask if it's not too late to correct his past actions. So he's being pushed to share this recognition with the divine feminine. And this pressure is being put on the masculine because he cannot forget this connection. He cannot keep waiting for the feminine to reach out, because many of us have cut that cord and we're not reaching out. I have no desire to reach out. I have him completely removed as a contact on every avenue. And everything is going to be coming to a temporary halt for the divine masculine until he does the right thing and makes things right with the divine feminine. So let's jump in and see what energies need to come through for the masculine, the advocate, and the athlete. So a lot of these masculines misuse their power for selfish ends. They have a false sense of entitlement and invulnerability. And there's a lot of transcendence in the energies when it comes to these physical limitations, these physical handicaps, in order for the masculine to develop personal willpower and strength of spirit is what's going on. And he is being asked to be that advocate and to put compassion into action. All of these negative causes, because the masculine committed to personal gain, has now come full circle. And when you're not in alignment with that higher contract, you play into all of these excessive feelings of entitlement. You know, that's when you lose it all. So this lack of commitment is bringing forward a lot of enlightenment for the divine masculine. But let's see what other archetypes need to come through for the masculine. That's interesting. I noticed it's 11:11 on the clock. So I feel the masculine is facing a lot of negative judgments in his physical world. He's played into this excess pity party for quite some time. He's been very single-minded, all about me, me, me. And the energy is pushing the masculine into selfless devotion, his dedication to spirit with the divine feminine. And then we get the detective on the bottom of the deck. So a lot of these masculines falsified information about the feminine. I feel there's a lot of gossip surrounding the masculine. We do got the gossip. So I do feel a lot of gossip surrounding the masculine. And a lot of truth-seeking in the energies. And, you know, there's that explosion. Everything is crumbling around the divine masculine's life. Everything is being destroyed because of these intoxicating behaviors. A lot of the masculines destroyed the feminine's potential and her dreams. And so the universe is coming in and releasing all of this destruction, preparing the masculine for this new cycle, for this new life. And I feel he's digging deep He's well aware that the karmic passed on all kinds of private secret information about the feminine, lies about the feminine, slander. And now all of this is coming full circle onto the masculine, because he's not been coming from a place of honor, trust, and integrity. And he's had no regard for the feelings of others. He's had no consideration for the damage left behind. And now the masculine is unable to defend himself against these negative forces. Everything always balances out. The universe is always seeking to restore that cosmic balance. And so as the feminine rises, the masculine gets thrown off of that high horse, that egoic high horse. And this is really bring forward a deep awakening. And I feel there's a lot of people talking about the masculine, talking about this connection, and I do feel a lot of the karmic has triangulated and spread all kinds of gossip around about the masculine. So this is where the masculine needs to reject this illegitimate contract. I do think there's a lot of angry outbursts coming to the surface, a lot of challenges that are going to affect this social change for the divine masculine. A lot of these masculines have rejected their spirituality, rejected this spiritual system, and they've only served to, you know, feed their own inner needs, their own inner desires. And I feel they've projected this image that only serves their own personal agenda. And now they're going to have to navigate through all of these different levels of consciousness, all of these difficult energies in order for them to see the potential of what they have done. And, you know, a lot of these masculines have made up stories that caused a lot of pain for a lot of people. And now they are needing to experience the fall of that energy of what they've done. So I feel a lot is coming to light. A lot of truth has been exposed. And the masculines are deep within some very hefty karmic energy at the moment. So let's see what needs to come through with the illumination. We do get the renewal and drawn to you. So I do feel he is in the process of this renewal, this rebirth, this transformation. And I do think he's drawn to want to spend time with you. He wants to come forward loyal now that the ice on his heart is starting to thaw. And we have, you know, that great big abominable snowman, the karmic entity in between the masculine coming forward with that loyalty. And, you know, he's never been able to erase you on his heart. I do feel a lot of the masculines are stuck and struggling financially when it comes to all of the truth that they've hidden. I think, you know, a lot of these masculines have gone through a divorce recently or closed out that false karmic contract, and they've still been hiding the truth of that ending, that they've walked away. A lot of them have already walked away, and they are preparing to take a risk towards the feminine, who is their hopes and wishes. They're dreaming about you, but a lot of them are still playing into these substance abuses, which is really creating a lot of blockages when it comes to fixing what's broken. I also feel a lot of the masculines are spying on you, divine feminine, watching your social media, driving past your house, trying to figure out what's going on in your life. A lot of them aren't sure if you've met somebody else or not, and that's why it's risky. But there's big changes coming. They're deep within the dark night of the soul, reliving the past, missing you. And there's going to be this reignition is what I'm feeling, because they do see clearly that if they are to balance this situation, they're going to have to go towards the feminine, who is this lighthouse, this guiding light. And your light is shining bright, divine feminine. And this is where the masculine plays into all of these fears of being emotionally vulnerable. They're afraid to be emotionally vulnerable. They're kind of like hiding in the grass, peeking around, figuring out how do I even approach the feminine. But they've definitely gone through an ending recently, and there's a lot of gossip surrounding that ending and that closing of that cycle, whether they've left a wife or a husband or something of the sort. But there's something definitely over. They've definitely walked away, and they're still feeling very, very stuck because they're playing into all of these ego fears, and they regret. They're still wearing a mask, though. They're still hiding the truth, holding on to you, holding on to the regret, the remorse, the guilt, and the shame. So Let's get a few more energies and we'll jump in with some tarot to see what else needs to come through for the masculine. So I think a lot of the divine masculines are looking at you like you have the aura of an angel, and your presence is what is going to be comforting and healing to them at this time. And they know that's where they need to go for healing after all of this destruction, but yet they still refuse to take accountability because of their pride and their ego. I do feel a lot of them are single at this point in time, whether they've completely moved out of that contract or not. They're definitely single. A lot of these masculines enjoyed playing the field, all kinds of casual sexual relationships. A lot of these masculines played many women at once. And something is definitely coming back around when it comes to that exposure. A lot of these masculines like to play the victim, play the martyr, and they blame everybody for all of the dysfunction in their lives. And I feel they're going to have to take accountability this life. If they want to regain their strength and their fortitude, they're going to have to take their power back. They're going to have to release pride and ego. That's a big thing for these masculines. They play into the pride and the ego, and that's a big challenge for them this lifetime when it comes to these negative circumstances. And you know, we should never, ever compare our life to anybody else. We all have unique challenges. Nobody truly knows what goes on in somebody's life behind closed doors unless you're in that home with them. So I do feel a lot of the masculines are single, and they're looking at the feminine as this guide. And the energies, I feel, are preparing the masculine to be that guide for others as well at this point in time. But he's going to have to step into that self-mastery. He's going to have to, you know, take all of this wisdom from all of the thousands of lifetimes that we've lived together and to bring forward all of this intuitive knowing into the collective, because people are here to, you know, seek that guidance and that advice from the twins. And I feel, you know, he knows it's time to step up and be that father, be that provider, be that protector for his family. So right now it's like the energy of being punished, facing the consequences of his past actions. I feel there's a lot of public ridicule with the gossip surrounding the masculine, and maybe even imprisonment for some of them. But, you know, they kind of made their bed and they're lying in it right now. I think they're feeling very alone, very abandoned. But, you know, this is where we cross that threshold is what I'm feeling. He's going to have to make this unexpected choice in love. A lot of these masculines, even though they were involved in another relationship, they've kept this relationship hidden on their heart. All of those secrets are coming to light. And, you know, the truth is the masculine has remained loyal on the heart. And it's time to kind of step into being these trailblazers for the future. So get ready for the masculine to come forward and release a long-standing burden with you, quite possibly this weekend. Because I feel there's a lot of recognition when it comes to these patterns, these outdated beliefs. A lot of recognition that it's time to heal these wounds for the future generations. And I do feel a lot of the feminines are stepping into their wealth, their abundance, their rainbow blessings. So let's jump in with some tarot. I'm going to use, what deck is this? I'm going to use the Arcanum deck, or is this the Thelema? So we got the Knight of Swords. So I feel the masculine is quickly rushing in. If you notice, though, he's still kind of wearing a mask or the Tin Man on his face. But I feel he's rushing in with a lot of truth. I feel the masculine wants to rush in very quickly with a lot of communication. I also feel he's likely lashing out at the karmic feminine, but he's rushing into the Empress. He's coming right for you, divine feminine. And he's definitely going through a major fall from grace. So a lot of these masculines were abusive. And I feel he's rushing in for that new beginning, likely during this Libra full moon. So, you know, I feel the veil of illusions is being shattered. He is definitely rushing right in for that brand new beginning with his Empress. And I think he's feeling very low at the moment when it comes to these unions. Do expect an offer to come forward this weekend, and it's going to come in very quickly. He's coming in very quickly. We got some pages and we got some knights. He's still not mature. He still has not matured. The Emperor reversed is a tyrant. I think all of this has been hidden from your energy and your sight, Divine Feminine, as the masculine goes through this final fall of the ego, is what I'm feeling. He's coming right for the Empress, though. He's coming for the Divine Feminine very quickly, leaving all of the past baggage behind. He knows it's time to kind of do the work to balance the scales, the Eight of Pentacles. But if you notice, we got the 6 and then the 2. So the feminine's kind of working on mastering her craft, and the masculine's no longer able to juggle. There's this rebalancing taking place, and so I think he does want a brand new, fresh beginning. So he's going to come in with something solid to offer, an invite of some sort, and he's coming in fast, and it's going to come in like a tower for this spiritual union, because we're closing out these karmic cycles. We're stepping into these higher level of commitments. We're sending all of these past timelines, Taurus energy, the world. Something is definitely coming full circle in the energies this weekend. And I feel there's going to be a lot of communication spoken about what the masculine has learned, going within, learning this lesson. There's a lot of major arcana. So what that tells me is the universe is in control, and definitely that death energy. So I feel profound life transformation. The masculine is being guided to come forward for that spiritual union, for his wish fulfillment, and to step into being that visionary leader for the future. So I do feel a lot of the masculines will be communicating this weekend about the past betrayal, about the backstabbing with the feminine, and coming forward with that honest, open-hearted communication. They're coming in with a love offer, an apology. They want a brand new beginning. They've been shown a lot of truth, and they're breaking free from that confusion. They're holding on tight to you, Divine Feminine, and I think they fear that you have many options, and they want to come in for that brand new beginning in love. So let's get some love oracle messages. Mirror. A lot is being mirror reflected to the masculine when it comes to these wounds, when it comes to his self-worth and his self-image issues. And there's a lot of introspection that has been going on recently, and he's going to have to rebuild from ground zero. A lot of these masculine self-sabotage, and I feel they've been persistently interrogated by the karmic feminine, and that is just like coming to an end. A lot of these masculines have not wanted to deal with the hurt, have avoided this conversation or this phone call for a very long time. And as the feminine instills all of these boundaries, the masculine is releasing a lot of rage, is what I'm feeling. They've been in a very codependent, obsessive, possessive, controlling, restraining relationship with the karmic. There's definitely a lot of gossip as the masculine moves on. And he is preparing to take a risk, is what I'm feeling, to take that leap of faith, to take a risk towards you, Divine Feminine. He's been very strategic. He's not really been letting anybody know. I don't think he's really been talking to anybody about the risk he's going to take coming forward to see you, Divine Feminine. And there's going to be equal giving and receiving of affection. The masculine wants to come forward with an unconditionally loving offer. He does want to fall in love with you again. He wants you to fall in love with him again. And so I think get ready for a conversation. A much awaited message is going to be arriving, whether this is a text, a phone call, an email. He's definitely hoovering you. He's watching you very closely, Divine Feminine, and going through a major ending that will bring a new beginning. There's a lot of growth and expansion, change and liberation as the masculine transitions out of wearing that false mask. And, you know, he's never really shown his true feelings. He's been hiding and personifying and pretending and deluding and gaslighting everybody because he's been dealing with a snake. The karmic is very competitive, and it's very clear that she is an enemy now disguised as a friend. And I feel the masculine's constantly looking over his shoulder because a lot of these karmics are very malicious. And I feel the masculine is being asked to separate, to stop that negative pattern, to stop the silent treatment with the divine feminine, and to come out of that abandonment, to make those healthy choices in love and in his life. And self-love and self-care is what I think the masculine's been working at in order to become happier. And his self-absorbed narcissistic ways are coming to an end, because this twin soul relationship is evolving to the next phase. We are healing these inner child wounds, and we are stepping into growth. And yes, the masculine is watching, looking at you, stalking you. And I think there's going to be a sudden shakeup this weekend, a surprise upheaval, transformation, epiphany of some sort. So we can step into this oneness, this joy, this compassion, this happiness, this expansion once and for all. So we're going to get a couple twin flame oracle messages, and then I will get a couple twin flame messages. So pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities. We did have Mars enter into Pisces today, and that's going to bring forward all kinds of messages. I feel this gateway energy is coming forward in order for all of these major shifts to come full circle. And the masculine is going through a period of extreme disillusionment, really transmuting all kinds of outside lessons, all kinds of outside energies at this time. And I feel in divine communication with his higher self. So divine feminine, what you really need to do this weekend is to create that space and go into meditation. Do you have room in your life for the divine masculine to show up? I know I don't. I don't even want to contemplate making room for him. I made room for the last 3 years, and I've been met with nothing but silence and rejection. And so I guess you're going to have to use your discernment. But do you have room in your life? I think with this Libra energy, this purging, anything that isn't serving you, go through your house, go through your closet. Anything you're never going to wear again, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it. What people, places, and things still need to be removed out of your life. But I know the masculine is being asked to make room for the divine feminine. And a lot of the feminines, I think, are just needing to go into the stillness to bring all of this awareness to the surface. So I'm going to use my homemade twin flame message deck today. And we'll see what other messages need to come through, what the masculine would like to say for himself in the energies. Yeah, he knows he needs to apologize and swallow his pride. I don't know why people can't take accountability and apologize for the damage done. I've always been one to take accountability for myself and not sugarcoat anything. But I think the masculine's really struggling with forgiving himself because of the damage done. And I do think the love he has for you is absolutely terrifying for him. He's afraid to open up. And you know, in all honesty, the divine masculine doesn't even deserve us after everything that they have done to us on the journey. So I feel a lot of these masculines, they're not running from us, divine feminine. They're running from themselves. They're running from the fact that they know they have to apologize and swallow their pride and their ego. And I think it's a really tough truth to swallow, that they blew it with the love of their life. And they know they're stuck in a very toxic codependent situation right now. And I think they hide from this connection because it feels forbidden. But they know now exactly what it is that they lost. They know now what they lost. And I think they're really trying not to lose their faith at this point in time. Because right now I think they're going into the depths of hating themselves for all of the pain that they have caused you, divine feminine. They've caused us a lot of pain. And it's the pride and the ego that will ultimately be the demise of the masculine. They do know that this is true love. And they cannot keep overworking to try and forget about this. Because we're here to be those way showers for a new way of living. And, you know, they do want to start over. They know we don't know the real them. Well, we actually can see right through them. I think that's what scares them, is they can't hide from us. But they're definitely finally facing that divine mirror. They don't like what it is that they see, divine feminine. And they know they've never ever met anyone like you, and they do. They feel like they have completely lost you, and I do think they miss you so much that it does physically hurt. So they're working through their ego fears, figuring out what it is they can bring forward for an offer. They're obsessed with you, divine feminine. They're obsessed with you at this point in time. Is a big message. So keep focusing on yourself, divine feminine. I do feel a lot of these masculines are hitting that rock bottom. They're getting ready to free themselves and to take back control of their life in the karmic contract. And I do think they want to get to know you. They're without a doubt going through a separation from the karmic contract. That is inevitable, and I think very soon the masculine is coming forward to heal these family issues once and for all, to heal the issues with the children. So you're going to want to keep an open mind, divine feminine, and an open heart, because the masculine wants to deepen this bond and really reveal his innermost self to you. He wants to get to know you again. So I guess the question is, divine feminine, are you ready to clearly decide if you want the divine masculine to return to you? Because the energy has to be balanced. It has to be zeroed out. But the divine masculine knows it's time to heal the brokenness that this has caused with the children. So keep an open mind. The masculine is going through a very painful separation. And divine timing is at work. So I feel a lot of ascension energies as the masculine ascends into these higher unions with the cosmic forces, and we are ascending to a higher level of commitments. We are manifesting sacred partnerships, reciprocal, balanced, sacred partnerships, and this is a connection that will be worth waiting for. So if your masculine isn't willing to come forward and balance the scales, the divine will prepare you a high vibration soulmate that will be your equal, that will work well with you in your mission moving forward. So I feel the masculines are being magnetically drawn towards the feminine at this time. And that's what I have for a little check-in into the divine masculine's energy. I hope this helped, guys. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.